financial problems, elder law, tax problems, business matters, divorce, personal injury, bankruptcy, your life, your reality. Life is complicated. There is the law and there is reality. Welcome to Law and Reality, sponsored by THAV GROSS. Now here's your host, Ken Gross.
Welcome to this segment of Law and Reality. Today's topic is estate planning before it's too late. You can't predict when. Sometimes you just got to say, what the heck?
What the heck, Ken? You look good. What's different about you today, Ken? You look good.
I'm wearing my spring-summer blue coat, and you're wearing a blue shirt.
In your world?
You have a blue shirt, and you have a blue shirt.
Yes, but do you know what the difference between all of you and me right now is?
There's a lot of differences.
I make these look good.
You make those look good. All right.
That was
Just
not on my
so everyone
list.
knows, we are wearing Samasco Law custom designer sunglasses.
You got a class-
Compliments of
Except
Samasco Law.
with them on, I can't see a darn thing.
Now, I just have a question. If someone comes to the firm as a client, one of the perks is a...
On top of
Pair of
good
glasses?
service and quality legal work, they get sunglasses.
Now, if you just happen to be driving by and you see the Samasco Law
Come on
sign
in.
and you pop in
Come
and say,
on in.
can I have my glasses?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
My office only offers free compliments, so there you go.
We have free paper cutters to shred bills,
Good.
as we say, which we give away at the seminars. All right, so let's go back to the topic. Estate planning before it's too late, you can't predict when. So we've talked about estate planning, but I kind of just want to twist it around a little bit and really emphasize the idea of, everything can be going okay, and then it's not okay. Somebody
Stuff happens.
gets in an accident, they're disabled, they're in a coma.
Dan Gilbert.
Dan
in
Gilbert's
Detroit,
a classic
yeah.
example. So if you don't have the estate plan in place, then you've got a major problem.
Yeah, we had a seminar yesterday, and one lady asked, I got a will, doesn't that cover my husband making all my medical decisions? No. It's completely different documents, different tool in the toolbox, and you have to make sure you have all the tools.
And the funny thing is that if you ask people, do I need, and they say, first of all, you ask them, do you have an estate plan? They go, well, no, I never really thought about that because I'm young. And young has nothing to do with it. There could be a bus with your name on it coming down Woodward and it's going to hit you.
My father-in-law had Alzheimer's at 54, and my dad had a stroke at 61, and my grandma 98, all three in the nursing home at the same time. So there isn't any
mix
more.
of genes there.
No boy.
But the common mistakes people make, first of all, is you think, well, if I die, okay, all my stuff goes to my family, so I don't really need a will. That's number one. Number two, and Brian, you've been experiencing, I'm going to be experiencing now, with regard to your kids when they go off to college. Well, they're my kid. Of course I can make those decisions for them. Why can't I, no matter what age they are? They're always my kids. I can always make those decisions.
Or there's even the other one. Why do I need an estate plan? I don't have any assets. There's nothing. I don't have anything. Do you have children? Because what happens to them if...
Minor children.
Yeah, minor children, if you get hit by that same bus. There's so many aspects of estate planning that we don't even think about on a daily basis, that if you stopped and said, whoa, maybe I need to take care of this now.
All right,
Young parents.
Let's try and
old-
drill down to some issues, okay? Because there's a lot of them. All right, here's a classic one. You die and you never did a will. You die intestate. Is that a bad thing? What does that mean?
It's funny because people think that the will is the most important document. I think it's the least important document for most families, because if you die without a will, the law gives you a will, and it says everything goes to your kids. Well, that's what your normal will says anyway.
Or to your spouse and
then to your kids, yeah. So it's...
And you have to go through probate, though.
Yeah, both of them you have to go through probate. But most likely, nothing's going through probate because you have beneficiaries on your your power of your 401k plan, your bank account. But if you want everything to go to the 4 kids, and you have your oldest daughter on the bank account, she's getting everything. And she
Right.
doesn't have to share it. So people don't know what the rules are.
So you can actually
Well, I trust my child.
Create
She'll
problems.
distribute
absolutely, yeah.
everything evenly to all the other kids.
Except that one brother that she just does not get along with.
for sure. Would you agree with this? The parent-child relationship is a much stronger bond than the sibling relationship. When I view family fights, and we see all of them. Okay,
Every
I
day.
see parent-children fights, but that's much more rare than sibling fights.
Right.
Sibling fights, I would say, are common.
Yeah.
And
Siblings
that-
fight
and
over the
nasty.
parents.
Yes.
Siblings fight over the parents, but then they're fighting between each other because 37 years ago you took my sweater and didn't hang it back up. And all of a sudden those resurface so many years later. It just,
I have to admit that. My brother's been gone 3 years, and we had a decent relationship, but not a close relationship. But I was always angry about him for when he went to. My dad helped him through college. He was in chiropractic college, and it was a new school before it was accredited, so there were no student loans. My dad was doing everything he could to help him with tuition. And I come home one day, and my brother says, "Don't tell Dad, but I bought a new stereo." And he had a perfectly good stereo. My brother was very mechanical. Remember Heathkit, where you'd build your own electronic equipment? He had built a very nice stereo. And I remember this, I said to him, "Don't tell Dad that you took his money to buy another stereo when you had a stereo, when he's doing everything he can to put you through college." How could I possibly tell Dad that? And I was mad at him. I'm still mad at him about it.
apparently so.
It hasn't changed.
Yeah, apparently
You know,
so.
so I guess those things happen.
You know
I mean,
what?
Stuart, I'm sorry. I forgive you.
You need a hug. You need a hug
Not from him.
from me. You need a hug.
No.
So that's the problem, though. All these things resurface, and all of a sudden, or more importantly, if one of the kids die, and Dad wants that kid's share to go down to the grandkids, the other brothers and sisters will never have that reason to give it to those grandkids. Those grandkids will get cut out every single time. So you got to plan for those different things.
We're coming up to a break. I want to talk about, when we get back, the trust and the problem that so happens that you have the living will, you have the pour-over will, you have the trust, but you fail to fund the trust. We'll be back after the break.
If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
THAV GROSS specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call THAV GROSS.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call THAV GROSS. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
I love you too. Bye-bye. That was Jerry. Emma just said her first word.
Oh.
Jerry says hello and they'll be over soon.
Who's Jerry? Is he a friend of yours?
No. This Jerry. Our Jerry. And this is his wife and their little girl.
You can't work. You have to deal with pain and stress. Worse yet, our system for applying for disability benefits seeks to deny you the benefits you're entitled. Jeff Kirschner is an expert in obtaining disability and workers' compensation benefits for his clients. You need to call Jeff before you apply or after you're denied to get the benefits you deserve. 888-235-HELP. 888-235-HELP. Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call THAV GROSS.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call THAV GROSS today, 888-235-HELP. Is the debt piling up? Struggling to get by?
It's all about preserving future income. Bankruptcy is one option. When it's right, it's the least costly, most effective way to save your home, eliminate a second mortgage, and wipe out credit card debt. But you need to address the problem now.
We help people with bankruptcy. Call the experts.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
All right, so you do an estate plan. Here's another common scenario. Husband and wife did the estate plan. They did a pour-over will. They did a living trust. They have the powers of attorney, which we're going to talk about in a minute. And everyone says you need a trust. The trust is the mechanism to avoid probate when you pass away. What are they talking? What does that mean?
Well, a trust is a document says that everything you have is covered under everything that's covered under the trust goes to your beneficiaries immediately or without any court involvement. So it's a little bit easier and a lot
Kind of governed by contract law rather than probate law.
So you're in charge. You're the president of your little family trust, and if you die, you pick the next president or the successor trust to be in charge, your son, your daughter, someone else, and then you lay out how the kids or the beneficiaries are supposed to get the money. But you have to have everything covered by the trust.
So it has to be transferred into the trust?
Yeah, so again, if the trust covers these assets, and you want everything to go to the 4 kids, but you have your life insurance in your oldest son's name, that controls the beneficiary designation supersede whatever it says in the trust. So you need to make sure the beneficiary of your life insurance is the trust.
So
your bank account is the trust.
Your beneficiary designations on your assets have to be the trust.
Right.
Or if they're not the trust, you have to make sure that's part of the master plan.
Exactly.
So
and it's funny because if you want to change, give them the grandkids 10% now. If you have everything in the trust, all you do is go amend the trust, 5 seconds, it's done. Otherwise, you have to go to your 15 different accounts and put the grandkids on every single one, and it's a complete nightmare.
And then often
It makes it awfully easy to when you
up.
I would say when you have 15 different accounts and you've got everybody down to the trust, and Junior decides to irritate the heck out of you.
Cut it.
Just right Junior right out of the estate.
Yeah,
it's very easy. Well, we have clients that we see that where they constantly. I had a couple over the years where every 3 months it was time for another amendment to the trust, and a lot of time Junior was in and then Junior was out, and I said the yo-yo syndrome is what I called it.
But the funny thing is putting things into the trust, and obviously Pat, since you do Medicaid planning. Putting things into the trust isn't always the right idea. The passing things outside of the trust through a ladybird deed is quite often the strategy also to avoid Medicaid putting a lien on the property.
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing is that people think I have a will. I don't go through probate if I have a will. Wrong. Wills are probate. I have a revocable trust. Oh, it protects from everything under the sun. Wrong. Revocable trusts protect from probate. It doesn't protect from the nursing home or Medicaid. So that's when you have to start looking at.
And it doesn't protect from creditors either.
Yeah. So if you're looking at what are you trying to protect, it's a tool in the toolbox. A hammer, a screwdriver, a wrench. Each tool is designed to do a different thing. So if you want to protect from the nursing home, you need an irrevocable trust. If you want to just protect from probate, revocable trust. If you want to protect from creditors, irrevocable trust. So it's different tools in the toolbox.
Right, so, and then and a common one that we often see is people have the trust and they never funded anything into it because the attorney said, here's your trust, sign it, and doesn't even remind the client or help them just make the decisions of what assets to transfer into the trust. So then we look at it and the trust and says, well, this is great, but you haven't funded anything into it.
You got a brand new car.
It was drafted 20 years ago.
Brand new car with no gas in it. You got to fill it up. You got to fill up the gas. You got to fill up the trust.
All right, let's do some commonly mentioned or not commonly mentioned problems that we know are problematic. Let me throw the first one out. No durable power of attorney. Nightmare. First of all, what is a durable power of attorney?
If I get sick, I pick Brian to make my decisions. my financial
I mean,
decision.
you are sick if you picked
Well,
Brian.
I trust him. He's a good guy. Look at him. He's honest, happy
He's
all the time.
fiscally conservative and responsible.
Right,
I will say that much for you.
Absolutely.
But you also want someone who's compassionate.
Yeah, that's not.
What are you going to do there?
Unless it's a creditor, in which case then I have no compassion.
It's
No soup for you.
It's a huge issue right now in the Macomb County Probate Court. It's all over the press how the family didn't have their paperwork in order, and the probate judge picked some company to be
saw it.
guardian.
Right.
It's a nightmare. So you can pick who you want to be in charge. If there's a problem, that person's there that you trust to make the decisions.
All right, let's stay right on that. So the durable power of attorney is the document you have while you're living that appoints someone to act on your behalf.
Right.
You make the mistake and you haven't done the durable power of attorney.
Or you only pick one person. You need an order, 1, 2, 3.
You get in a car accident, you're in a coma. You were saying in Macomb, the judge is appointing some company to act as
Right.
the conservator.
Yeah, not the family member, a company to do it.
And here's the whole point. It's up to the judge who makes that appointment.
Right.
You
Unless-
can't just say,
but-
wait, judge, wait. We want the son to be the conservator. The
Yeah.
judge has the power to say, sorry,
But if,
I'm going
if
somewhere
it's
else.
in the power of attorney, if the power of attorney has already been established,
They have priority.
then they have priority over
So
the...
if there's
If you
a
have
war,
the power of attorney is already established, you don't even need to be in court.
well, if there's a problem, if there's a war, if there's a fight, there's always a probate court that you can go to solve it, but you want to stay out of the probate court as much as possible because all of a sudden you're not in control anymore. The judge is in control.
All right, so I gave the example of the car accident, but the one that you see often, I'll come right back to you, Bryce, Jeff, is the elderly person who has dementia and you need to do Medicaid planning. If the durable power of attorney is in place before the dementia gets to the point where he lacks the capacity to act on his behalf
That's
and
what you
sign a
need.
durable power of attorney, you can do all the planning you need to do.
It's the greatest thing ever. It's that magic tool that allows us to save everyone's money.
And that's what I was going to talk about is I see that all the time in my practice with Social Security, dementia, Alzheimer's. I've got clients right now with younger individuals who have diagnosis of early onset dementia, early onset Alzheimer's, and this is the time, especially now, that they have their faculties that they need to get to see Pat to take care of their business.
We're up to a break. When we come back, I want to ask the same question. Early onset dementia and lacking capacity to enter into a durable power of attorney. We'll be back after the break.
Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call THAV GROSS.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call THAV GROSS today, 888-235-HELP. If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
THAV GROSS specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
Time for announcements. I want to remind our viewers to listen to us for Law and Reality Live on the Praise Network, 93.5, 98.3, and 99.9 FM, Tuesdays 10 o'clock a.m. and Saturdays 7 a.m. Also on KISS 105.9, Sundays 7 o'clock a.m. Be sure and sign up for our monthly contest. Every month we give away a free $50 Visa gift card, Law and Reality golf hat, and a copy of my book, Dump Your Debt. Just go to the website, pop in your name on the very front box that pops up, and you're entered into the contest. We have a seminar coming up Wednesday, July 24th, 6 to 7:30 p.m., resolving personal and business debt issues. We're going to walk through all the systems that we use to preserve future income for you and your family, to eliminate debt so that you've got money to retire with. Business debt and personal debt are going to be covered. Jenny Lingl is going to do a special segment on how to resolve tax issues. Attendees get a free copy of my book, Dump Your Debt. Understand something in our seminars. you don't come to the seminar and get a steak dinner. You get cookies, you get water, you get a letter opener, you get a free copy of my book, but what you get is tremendous information. You get the information that you need that's going to, A, bolster your confidence, make you feel good about the fact that there's a solution to the problem that you don't think exists, and you're actually going to have some fun. It's entertaining and it's an upbeat type of a process. I strongly encourage you to take advantage. Sign up at lawandreality.com, thavgross.com, or call 888-235-HELP. Be sure and go on to the Law and Reality Facebook page. Give us a like, shoot us some comments. We post information and current events on the Facebook page all the time, and we'd appreciate your likes. You're always invited for a free consultation at THAV GROSS. All you have to do is go to the website, request a consult in any one of the boxes, or call us up at 888-235-HELP to sign up for a free consultation. Debt issues with Brian, tax issues with Jenny, estate planning issues with Brian, business law issues with myself, elder law issues with Pat, disability issues with Jeffrey Kirshner. Understand something. The free consult is a tremendous opportunity. It's not a meet and greet. We sit down with a lawyer, analyze the problem, and give you specific recommendations on how to solve the problem, what it'll take, how much it'll cost, and it maps out the solution to the issue. You should always take advantage of it. It's great advice, and it costs you absolutely nothing. Take a look at our website. We have four great reports. Brand new, Resolving Tax Problems, The Real Solutions, written by Jenny and myself. How to Save Your Home from Foreclosure, Business Formations, Loans and Grants for Small Businesses in Detroit, and The Retiree's Guide to Social Security. All you do is go on the website, request a report, and it's downloaded right to you. I want to thank our sponsors, THAV GROSS, Samasco Law, Jeff Kirshner Law. Now back to the show.
Is the debt piling up? Struggling to get by?
It's all about preserving future income. Bankruptcy is one option. When it's right, it's the least costly, most effective way to save your home, eliminate a second mortgage, and wipe out credit card debt. But you need to address the problem now.
We help people with bankruptcy. Call the experts.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
Will I outlive my money?
Medicaid is so confusing.
A will, or do I need a trust?
What if mom needs to go in a nursing home?
At Samasco Law, we have the answers to all of these questions. Our attorneys will eliminate the confusion and develop a plan that's right for you. We are dedicated to veterans benefits, assisted living, and nursing home care. Samasco Law can help prepare you for a long future. Call Samasco Law today.
Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call THAV GROSS.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call THAV GROSS. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
All right, so we're back. So we just, right at the break, you mentioned early onset dementia. At what point does the person have dementia to the point where he doesn't have the capacity, or she doesn't have the capacity, to sign a durable power of attorney?
Well, okay, so that's a great question. I said my father-in-law had Alzheimer's at 54. We had to keep going back and forth to the nursing home to get him on a good day to sign it.
Well, I think that's also a medical issue, though, too.
Yes.
Now you get the doctors that have to come involved. They're treating
Well,
neurologists, whoever.
No,
capacity to testamentary capacity
It's
is
different.
is a legal issue.
Yeah.
It's a medical issue from the standpoint of the doctor's testimony. Do you understand the
It's called-
objects of your bounty?
It's called a lucid interval. If you get him on a good day, a good morning, a good hour, says, hey, do you want your daughter to make your medical decisions?
Yes.
And he goes, yeah, sign it up. Now, if you have a diagnosis of dementia, sometime that facility is going to have a hard time accepting it, but that's too bad. If you're the witness and you're the lawyer and you say, hey, he was competent when he signed it and he can make those decisions, sign it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But
Now,
it obviously
then you have a different issue.
but even so, it obviously makes sense to try to do the power of attorney and the patient advocate.
Because if nobody is objecting in the family, there's not going to
If
be an
there's
issue.
no
It's
red
only when
flag,
there's a fight
yeah,
there's a problem.
you're looking for as a lawyer, you're looking for the red flags. If you're picking if all the kids are on the table and they all say, Mom wants my sister to be in charge, and Mom says, yeah, I want my daughter, that daughter right there
Nobody's
to be.
objecting.
Yeah, but if she's picking the cleaning lady, hang on a second, there's a problem there.
But I guess that's always the issue here is to when somebody objects. If no one objects, everything is fine, and we don't even have a TV show here. So we're talking about these issues in which...
Wait. If nobody objects, we still have the TV show. And we still have... And we still have the glasses.
That's right.
Get rid of this
Who in the
guy.
hell invited
Sorry,
him?
I'll leave. But that's precisely the issue then, is when are they lucid, when are they not? And you're saying, well, you go in and they had a lucid moment. Well, how do you know? How do you prove it? How do you know?
We had the case, I just came back from California a couple weeks ago, where the wife had dementia really bad, the husband was getting cancer, and he picked the waitress to be in charge of the wife. And the wife had no clue. Instead of her brother, no kids. So
I go with your theory. I go with the red flag
Yeah.
theory. In a situation where someone comes in, and I just had one a couple weeks ago, where husband obviously has some stage of dementia because wife had to really coax him through on signing of the documents, but I knew there wasn't going to be any issue. There was no one to object.
It wasn't the third wife from
no.
Bahamas.
First wife, 2 children, adult children, everyone's getting things 50-50. There's going to be no objection, then why bother having to go to the probate court, appointment of a conservator, appointment of a guardian, unnecessary. Whereas if there was a family fight, you still might do it, but you'd know you'd have the risk of a fight. Very quickly, kind of running down on our time, patient advocate. What is a patient advocate? So often they're not signed.
Same thing. It's a medical power of attorney versus a financial power of attorney. So you need both, medical and financial. You need them, and you're picking my wife to be in charge, and I pick my daughter to be second line. All the same issues that you just talked about on the financial.
When you weigh the whole spectrum on an estate plan, go back to what you were saying at the very beginning of the show, Pat. It's the durable power of attorney and the healthcare power, the patient advocate, that the lack of having them causes more pain and problems than not having the will or the trust.
Easiest to get, most problems if you don't have it, because it's affecting you while you're alive right now.
And it's important also to consider the patient advocate and the durable power of attorney for your 18-year-old child that just graduated from high school. Okay, you thought you could make medical and financial decisions for your kid. Guess what? They're not a kid anymore. They're an adult. And most institutions and most doctors will not allow you to get medical records or help with finances unless you've got those documents.
I call that the hold my beer and watch this document. Every stupid kid in college needs to have that paper. And you got to have it before they...
While you were thinking that, I was thinking to myself, I said, if I was your kid and you handed me that power of attorney at 18 to sign, I'd say, I'm not signing this.
I said, Eliana, happy birthday. Here's your present. Here's your cake. Sign here. That's what I did.
Yeah.
And I did that with my son, too.
It's good. It's the prudent right thing to do.
It's the hope for the best, plan for the worst. You never want to...
I wanted to touch on the problems that people make when they go to leave their assets unexpectedly to the wrong person. We're going to save that for the next show. Thanks for joining us. Have a great week. We'll be back next week with Law and Reality.